Hello guys, welcome back to the next video where we are solving the ISC specimen question paper for 2023. If you have missed out the previous videos, do check out the entire playlist from the description box below. And if you don't want to miss out any future videos, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. This sum is also on cash flow where we are solving the OR question from question number 13. Okay, we have solved question number 13, the previous sum, where we are required to prepare the investing and the financing activity only. Here we are required to prepare the entire cash flow statement based on the information that have been given to us. Now let us pick up the items as we go along to make things easy and simple to understand. Okay, so in the books of Bruno Limited, we have this information given. The first one is equity share capital, where we see that there is an increase in the value of shares. That means new shares have been issued during the year worth 1,50,000. Okay, and there is nothing else mentioned in the additional information about these shares. So straight away this goes into your financing activity as proceeds from issue of equity shares 1,50,000 as a positive figure. All right. Next item that we have is reserves and surplus, the statement of profit and loss balance as given here, 1,20,000 and 88,000. This goes to your NBT calculation. So let's put that there, 1,20,000 minus 88,000. So that gives us 32,000 as of now. We have further items. Let's pick up the next item that we have, long-term borrowings. We see that there is a decrease in the value of debentures. We have 7% debentures here, and nothing else is mentioned about the date of repayment or anything else about the redemption of debentures. So that comes here as financing activity, redemption of debentures. So we write here minus 60,000, right? 60,000 worth of debentures are redeemed during the year. Now we also have 7% debentures. However, in this case, we don't have to calculate the interest because interest is already given in the additional information. So 18,000 is your debenture that comes at both the places in the financing activities as your negative figure as an outflow. Interest paid on debentures is 18,000, and in your operating activities where it is added as a non-operating item 18,000. Okay, so interest is also taken care of. Let's move on to the next item. We have short-term borrowings which comprise of bank overdraft, and there is a decrease in the value of bank overdraft. So that comes as a part of financing activities, payment of bank overdraft. This is also an outflow of 7,000. Okay. Next, we have short-term provisions given to us as provision for tax, where we have the opening and the closing balance. However, always check the additional information for the third information. Whenever you have the third information given to you, you have to prepare the provision for tax account to calculate the fourth information, right? Tax paid is 25,000, so that goes against two bank account, 25,000 tax paid. Then you have to put your opening and the closing balances here, which are 30,000 and 40,000. So 30,000 as your two balance by balance BD and two balance CD is 40,000. So statement of profit and loss that you get here becomes 35,000. All right. So be very careful now. 25,000 goes into your operating activity as tax paid, and 35,000 goes into your NBT calculation. So let's do that. Into the operating activity, less tax paid is minus 25,000, and into your NBT calculation, current year's provision for tax 35,000 is added. So our NBT comes to 67,000. Let's put that amount at the top, 67,000 as our net profit before tax. All right, so this item is also done. Let's move on to the next one. We have plant and machinery. We have the opening and the closing balances. And in the additional information, we have bought and sold machinery. So we need to prepare the account. Let's put the opening and the closing balances. 3,30,000 is the opening balance, and the closing balance is given as 3,80,000. Now let us pick up the items from additional information. There is a purchase of 1,20,000 worth of plant and machinery that comes against two bank purchases. There is a machinery which is sold at a loss of 12,000 that goes against by statement of PL. The next statement says the depreciation 38,000. So now that leaves us with the balancing figure of the sale amount. So let's calculate how much is the balancing figure, how much worth of sale we have made. 20,000 is the selling price. Okay, so let us now put the relevant figures in their respective areas. To bank and by bank, they go into the investing activity. So let's put them here. Proceeds from sale of machinery is a positive 20,000 and purchase of plant and machinery is a negative 1,20,000. Then going to the operating activities, depreciation is added here 38,000 and loss on sale of 12,000 is added here. All right, so these items are put here. Let's move on to the next item that we have, which is cash and cash equivalents. The opening cash balance is mentioned here. We need to write it here, 3,94,000. All right. So now coming to the next item, proposed dividend. Now be very careful. We have been given proposed dividend for the current year, but as per the rule, the proposed dividend for the previous year becomes the dividend paid for the current year, and that same amount is used in the NBT calculation. Now, since we don't have any of them, so that's why we don't have any proposed dividend here in NBT calculation, and neither do we have dividend paid in the financing activities. All right. So we have taken into consideration all of these items. Let's run a review and let's start our calculation. So how much do we get here if we add them? We don't have any working capital change adjustment because there was no relevant item. So straight away we have to do the calculations. So 1,10,000 is our cash flow from operating activities, a positive inflow, and we have cash used in investing activities as a negative outflow of 1 lakh. Let's do the financing activity as well. And we have 65,000 as an inflow from financing activities. Let's do the entire sum of all these three activities. We get 75,000 as the total cash generated, increase in cash and cash equivalents during the year from all the three activities. And let's add them up to find out the final closing cash and cash equivalents, 4,69,000, which is tallying with the one given in the question, the closing balance. That means everything is in place and your answer is matching. Hope this was helpful. If it did, if it really help you to understand your questions, hit the like button and do share with your friends. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments box below. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next video with the next set of sums that we have.